It's Friday, the 29th of September 2023, and today we're back here at our local park, the Alton Towers Resort, to bring you all the latest Nemesis construction updates.
It has been a month since our last update, so we're going to show you everything that's happened whilst we've been away.
Oh, and yeah, there's lots going on, especially with work on the station, the entrance to the queue line for Nemesis, and so many more areas of the construction site as well. So we're going to start off by taking a look at that, and also the new trains for Nemesis have also arrived, and they look fantastic. So we'll talk a little bit about those as well. Very quiet this morning down here in Forbidden Valley, and of course September is the quietest month of the year to come and visit Alton Towers. Yeah, if you have been over the past few weeks, especially midweek, you've probably had a really good time getting lots of rides in, because yeah, I definitely recommend coming at this time of year for short queue times. But here we go, beautiful morning, and of course here comes the monorail to start off our updates. We've had lots of monorail watch, haven't we, this year here on Theme Park Worldwide. Look at that, there it goes. And of course we start off with a nice overview looking at the Nemesis construction site. And before we head up onto the observation platform, I thought we'd start off down here at the bottom and give you a bit of a zoom in looking at the work taking place on the station. And yeah, it's been ongoing for a couple of months now. It was slow to get going, but they've done loads over these past few weeks, and we'll see more from up on that observation platform. But as you can see, some big holes currently in the Nemesis monster itself, big refurbishment taking place. And it looks like they kind of started in the middle and worked their way out with that. But yeah, I'm really liking the look that we're seeing up here at the top with the colour scheme. I do think that looks absolutely fantastic, the grey and also the red. And yeah, I'd imagine there's some more detailing to go onto there, but already you can start to see some of the different shades that we've got going on down here. Really does look fantastic as we zoom out and see it in more of the frame just there with the loop there just behind it as well. Really does look awesome. Yeah, if we pan over to the left, another big change that's happened over the past few weeks is the painting of the lift hills. Yeah, they started this quite a while ago now, and it's still ongoing, as we can see up there at the top. Still just got the undercoat, the primer on there. Here you can see now the lift hill has been painted to match the rest of the track. And just a bit of a recap for those of you that didn't know, of course the lift hill and also the brake run hasn't been replaced on Nemesis. It was from the top of the lift through to the start of the brake run that had the replacements done. So yeah, they've obviously painted that so it matches with the rest of the replaced track. And as we pan over to the left, we get a view of that first inversion, of course, the corkscrew. Big fan of this colour scheme, and coming back and seeing it again, of course, over on our Florida trip, we saw so many B&M coasters, all fantastic. However, there's none out there that's got a colour scheme and pattern quite like this. I mean, I do really like it, especially when the sun shines on it. It looks awesome, doesn't it? And yeah, we can see some work taking place on the entrance to the queue line there, but we'll see that from a better angle in just a moment. But yeah, here's a bit of a wider look at the construction site for you all. And yeah, worth pointing out, the track still isn't actually completed from the top of the lift down to the first drop that we can see just over there. Yeah, that's it looks like it's complete from this angle, but yeah, those track sections are yet to go into place. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly when they're going to go in. But yeah, you can see that from around the other side. The supports are in place, but the track is still not yet completed around there. A little bit further down towards the coffee lounge here in Forbidden Valley. And yeah, we can see how work continues on the repainting of this part of the station. Doesn't look too different to a few weeks ago there, but of course it's a big job because the monster itself of Nemesis is absolutely huge. So yeah, it's going to take some time, but I'm liking the look that we're seeing, especially that detailing on the top just there. Can't believe how quiet it is. Just round the back now of the coffee shop, and yeah, as we can see, another scaffolding structure has appeared, and yeah, this is actually covering the Mushroom Cloud tour bus. Of course, it kind of hangs off the side of the cliff at Nemesis, creates a really good near-miss element when you're on the ride. Yeah, it shows that's going to be staying and it's having a refurbishment. But yeah, nice to see, because that's a very iconic part of the Nemesis theming, isn't it, the Mushroom Cloud bus?
I'm so glad they didn't get rid of that.
Yeah, it's nice just kind of there on the side.
It is, I love it.
I wonder if that's going to have a new colour scheme or not, but obviously, yeah, instead of taking it out, they thought it was better to build the scaffolding structure around it and do the repair work. But yeah, interesting to see, looking forward to seeing how that looks. And before we head up onto the Nemesis observation platform, I'm going to take you all up on the monorail now, because I took some photos when we were coming into the park. So yeah, here's some aerial shots looking out over the construction site as of the end of September 2023. And we'll start off by taking a look at the final inversion there on Nemesis, and also the brake run that is still being painted there as well. And of course, that's some of the existing 1994 track just there being painted to match. Here's a really nice overview looking at the construction sites. You can see the detail work there from above taking place on the station structure. And yeah, there's another angle of that coming up for you next. But yeah, also with here, you just get a nice look at that repainting taking place on the lift hill. Again, some of that existing 1994 track and support structure, and just a wide overview of the site. And yeah, as we move into this next image, you can see just here how, you know, there's a lot of work taking place on the station itself. You can see all the scaffolding there on the sides, and kind of how they started in the middle and worked outwards with that work. And yeah, a lot of detailing taking place, and especially on the front where they seem to have removed quite a lot of sections. The eye was removed quite a while ago, and yeah, lots happening down there at the front. And I'm looking forward to following that and seeing how it ends up. Those steps that you can see on the bottom right of the image, those are actually was originally the single rider queue for Nemesis. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens with that. Possibly that could be a new exit, maybe to free up space. Could that be a new disability entrance possibly, or could it be something else? It'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see the return of single rider. But yeah, they've kept those steps. It looks like they're doing some detailed scenery around it. So yeah, they've clearly got some plans for that just there as well. Some great views there of the ongoing work on the station building from up on the monorail. That really is the best place to get an overlook of the construction sites. And of course, yeah, the station really is looking fantastic. I am a big fan of what they're doing with the colour scheme on there. At first, I was thinking, oh, how's it going to look? How's it all going to come together with the new colour scheme of the ride? But no, I am very impressed with what we're seeing there from up on the monorail. And yeah, I look forward to riding it over the next few weeks towards the end of the season and seeing just how that station is going to look. Now, as I mentioned back at the start of the video, there's a lot of other work taking place on theming around the Nemesis construction site, starting off with just behind us here, because yeah, as you can see, work is happening on the entrance to the queue line for the ride. So yeah, let's have a look. Now, we might get a better angle of this up on the observation platform where we're heading to in just a moment. Yeah, just thought I'd show you down here too. See, obviously the entrance to the queue line has got a very rustic look. And it's kind of had that since 1994 when the original Nemesis opened here at Alton Towers. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to keep that rustic look with kind of like the queue fences and other parts around the area, or if they're going to kind of freshen it up a little bit, because obviously we haven't really got that rusted effect now. When we look over on the track, it does look gorgeous though, doesn't it? Really nice, especially the first inversion there, the corkscrew. Yeah, it's going to be interesting just to see if they're going to keep that rustic kind of feel that it's got. And when I mention that, I talk about like this sign over here, you know, like this kind of brown rustic effect. You know, are we going to see that kept around Nemesis, like the queue fences and that sort of thing, or are we going to see it painted black and red, or maybe grey or another colour? Same as like the archway just here as well that leads down towards the ride. You know, it's got that old school kind of rustic look. Are we going to see that stay, or is that going to change? All these interesting things we can start to think about now, especially now we're getting a good idea on what the finished look is going to be like for the ride itself, with the reveal of the trains, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. We can now start to think more about the area itself and other changes coming around Forbidden Valley. And here we go, heading past a very quiet Nemesis Subterra, up onto the observation platform. Yeah, look at that, walk on. Yeah, these weekdays in September are fantastic. And comment down below if you've been on Subterra this year. Was it your first time riding it this year, or maybe you did it at the original version of the ride when it first opened back in 2012? Let us know. I think it's been a really good addition actually. It has been getting some pretty big weights, and some of them weights that it's been getting I don't think it's worth. Like I said in the vlogs earlier in the year, I think when it gets past 30 minutes, that for me is getting a little bit too long for the experience it offers. But still, it's added some more capacity down here in Forbidden Valley, and hopefully it's going to remain a permanent addition to the lineup. Now, I did just cover this before we went on the Florida trip. Not a lot's really changed, but I will get it in again for you just here. Yeah, all that old queue line, like the extended queue line, has all been removed, as we can see. And you can just make out where it used to be. They've put like the tape just in place there, following the path where the old queue line was. It looks like it's still very flat down there. So yeah, I do think we're going to see the queue line put back in that area. Well, the interesting thing is they've took out all the fencing and even like the flooring as well, so it's all going to look very fresh when that's done. I am pleased that they're doing that, you know, spending the money on completely redoing this queue line, which is good to see. Oh, what a lovely morning. Beautiful, there at Alton Towers. And yeah, here's a bit of a look then at that work going on the entrance to the queue line. And that's the thing, now the track is almost complete, the trains are on site, work's continuing on the station. Obviously a lot of work can happen now around the rest of the sites. And yeah, focus has gone on to the theming structure just over here. Yeah, it looks like again it's going to be kept, which is great to see. It's an iconic piece of Nemesis. And here comes the monorail. It's going to block my view. Monorail watch. Beautiful sea life train just there. Oh, love it. But yeah, again, is he going to keep that rustic look or not? I guess we'll find out. But I am looking forward to seeing that footage from the time-lapse camera just over there. I'm sure Alton Towers will share that at some point over winter, maybe next year in the run-up to the ride opening, or maybe after it's opened, or could it be part of the teaser marketing campaign that we've been seeing for it as well? Yeah, quite interesting to see that. But yeah, scaffolding all around there, and yeah, it seems a very quiet morning actually on the site. I'm going to miss this view next year from the observation platform. It's been really nice looking out over the construction and getting these monorail views as well. Monorail watch here on Theme Park Worldwide, love it. And yeah, here's another zoom in then, looking from this angle over at the Nemesis construction site. And yeah, from here we get a great view of the progress that's happening on the station building. As you can see from down at the back, it's looking almost complete, and especially there in the middle as well. I do love the effect they've gone for on the colours. And you can kind of see down here at the front how they're doing a lot of replacement work just there. Still a massive hole in it, and yeah, a lot of work. And yeah, of course, all the team have been doing an amazing job with this. We've loved following the progress of it all. And yeah, of course, now it's more moved on to Merlin magic making when it comes to the theming of the station itself. And yeah, we saw that big wooden structure a couple of months back, what looked like it was going to be a big eye. So yeah, I reckon we're going to see that down here on the front. It's gone away now, but I think they were kind of measuring it up to see if it fits. They've took that away now, and then we're going to see this big eye kind of return down there on the front. Yeah, lots of scaffolding around the other side as well. It's hard to tell. If you remember a couple of months ago, we saw like that was all painted black at first, and we're all like, oh, what are they doing? But of course, that was just like a base coat. And then they put like a primer on top of that, and then the top coat is starting to be applied. Yeah, it was all kind of part of repairing it. If we zoom in down to the bottom there, you can see a lot of work happening on the queue line. More scaffolding's gone in. And yeah, it looks like all them big fences, you know, when you're walking down the queue towards the loop, there was like the big metal fences. Looks like all of those have been removed now from what I can see. So that's all been replaced as well. So yeah, a lot of work happening in the queue line too. Of course, at the back, you've still got all the scaffolding that's around the bottom of all of the supports and the footers just over there as well. But yeah, really interesting just to kind of follow it all and see what happens next. You know, how long is it going to be until we see them track pieces arrive? And of course, we know that the new trains have now arrived on site. So here's a look at these official photos released by Alton Towers, as we can see. And yeah, we've got two different photos where we can see the new trains for Nemesis. Now, since these were released a few days ago, there's been a lot of speculation. Are these new trains or are they refurbished trains from B&M? Well, you've only got to look at the release that was actually made by Alton Towers to a lot of local press. And yeah, Bianca Sammut, the divisional director of Alton Towers, did say these are new trains that have been delivered. So I'm going to take her word for it. At the end of the day, she's the managing director. And yeah, she did say they are brand new trains that have been delivered. I think what's caused a lot of people to speculate about the trains is the fact that it's still actually got the bar along the bottom of the train. I'll put it in just there and zoom in for you. That bar that you don't see on more modern inverted roller coasters. And we take a look at the likes of Osiris at Parc Asterix in France, Monster at Gröna Lund in Sweden, and yeah, more modern B&M inverts that have still got the classic train design like Nemesis. And yeah, they don't have that bar at the bottom. Very interesting. It looks like to me they've literally completely replicated the original train design, and that's probably because they wanted this to be the most authentic experience they could do. And along with that as well, they wanted it to feel like the original still. And also, you've got to think Nemesis has got much tighter transitions and turns than a lot of other B&M inverted coasters, which makes me think, you know, that bar that's underneath the seats needs to be there because, of course, some of the tighter transitions and turns that can be found on Nemesis, and just kind of to stop that rattle as it's going through tighter inversions compared to a bigger ride that's much taller and more spread out. Of course, I could be wrong with that, But yeah, that's my kind of take on it. If the park have said they are new trains, I'm going to believe that they are new trains. At the end of the day, they've spent millions of pounds on this project. The coaster itself is nearly 30 years old. I highly doubt they would use 30-year-old trains on this beautiful new B&M track. That's my take on it anyway. But of course, let me know your thoughts down below in the video comments. In terms of the look of the trains though, fantastic. Really like the black and red colour scheme. I think the red restraints look fantastic. You can also notice on there a slightly different mechanism for the seat belt as well. At the bottom, kind of how it's attached to the train, but still the fact that it's got them original kind of style trains is fantastic. I'm very pleased with that. And yeah, there was a lot of speculation from some people saying that it was going to have vest restraints. If you've been watching these updates all along, I've been telling you from the start this was not going to have vests, and that's because of how it's designed. Some of these tunnels that you've got around here, you wouldn't be able to have that, the near misses, because of course the trains like Banshee at Kings Island that have got the vest restraints are much wider. And you realise that. We was at Kings Island earlier this year, we rode Banshee again, and yeah, you realise how much wider those trains are. It would not have worked on Nemesis, and in my opinion, I find the vests quite uncomfortable and take away from the ride experience. But again, that seems to vary for a lot of people. So comment down below and let me know your thoughts. But yeah, what are you thinking of the train, Charlotte?
Oh, I like the train. I'm so glad they didn't go for vest restraints because I really don't like them. But the trains look great. I love the red harnesses. They look fantastic.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, a lot of people said they look similar to Nemesis Inferno at Thorpe Park.
I think they do kind of.
But yeah, they look fantastic.
They'll look great when they go around the track.
Yeah, they will. And that's the thing, when are we going to start seeing testing? I mean, I think we're still quite some time away from that. Obviously, they've got to finish the track. Whenever that arrives, there's probably at least, what, 4 pieces maybe to go in from the top of the lift hill to connect up behind these trees on the first drop. But yeah, when's testing going to take place? I think they've got to finish the kind of footers as well. Hence why, you know, it all kind of bolts together and they kind of tie it all together before testing will begin. But we will see, and of course, it'll be very interesting to see what happens before the end of the season, which, believe it or not, is not that far away now. I can't believe how fast this year has gone. But yeah, what are we, like 6 weeks away now from the end of the season here at Alton Towers? But there we go, that's all the latest here from the Nemesis construction site. A look at the trains, and yeah, really excited to see it all over the next few weeks. Also, noticed something whilst we were up there on the platform. The TV was off and there was no announcements as well.
Oh, I like when the TV's on up there because you get the announcement, which is quite funny.
Yeah, normally like I stop talking and then the announcements come on kind of in between. But no, I did enjoy that. So yeah, hopefully they'll get that sorted again soon. I don't know how long that's been broken for, but hopefully they'll get it fixed at some point in the near future. Something else about the trains that I forgot to mention just as well. They've only really shown us a couple of different angles. They're yet to show us the iconic Nemesis wheel covers as well.
I wonder what colour they're going to be.
Or I'd like it if they had kind of like a vein effect similar to the track. I think that would look fantastic. Something else that I would have liked on there, which I don't think we're going to be seeing sadly, is the lights underneath. Like Monster, a Grown Alum, that's got lights underneath which look amazing at night, don't they?
I think it's one of these. For how long Nemesis would be running at night, it just wouldn't be worthwhile.
Yeah, I think with the part that it's in, I mean, we barely, you know, get to step in Alton Towers at night these days. Yeah, I think it would be nice if they had that effect in some later hours, but realistically, it probably wasn't worth the extra budget spending the money on the lights underneath. But you never know, they could maybe add them on after, but I highly doubt it. But anyway, that brings us to the end of this Nemesis construction update. And yeah, we look forward to bringing you updates throughout the rest of the season. Of course, over winter as well, there'll be plenty of visits to the roller coaster restaurant that is open, of course, for visitors. So we can come and have a look at what's going on with the Nemesis construction site as well. In terms of other Alton Towers updates, Scarefest is like a week away. So we're going to have a Scarefest construction update on the way. And also, we've been away for most of it, but Oktoberfest as well.
I know, it's nearly the end of that one.
Yeah, I mean, we planned our Florida trip for a longer period, so it did mean we missed quite a lot of Oktoberfest. It's been a bit mismatched with events this year. However, from what we've seen just walking up today, looks pretty good Oktoberfest. So we're coming over the weekend and there'll be a vlog on the way for you all to enjoy. But thanks so much for joining us here on Theme Park Worldwide. And that leaves us with one final thing to say. Get out there and keep on riding. We'll see you in the next vlog.